Wind down before bed with this scoliosis-friendly stretching routine. Welcome back to TSC Connect. I'm Physio Andrea, a Schroth-certified physiotherapist and the founder of the ScoliClinic in Vancouver, Canada. I've designed this routine to help you move through some of that stiffness and soreness that may have built up throughout the day so you can go to bed feeling relaxed. You'll need a bit of room to stand and stretch your limbs and then transition to a mat on the floor. You could even end the final few stretches lying on your bed. And if you like our content, please join our membership as a TSC Connect cheerleader, where you will receive exclusive monthly videos made by me just for our members. Thanks for watching. Enjoy this stretching routine. See you soon. Let's get ready to wind down for bed, and let's start by doing some shoulder circles to help relieve some of the tension that you might have built up throughout the day in your upper body and your shoulders and your neck. So take your fingertips and put them all together and then place them on the top of your shoulders. Find a neutral posture with your feet hip width apart, gentle bend in your knees, making sure that you're not standing with your back too arched or rounded. Stay nice and lengthened all through your spine, through your neck, out the crown of your head. With your fingertips on your shoulders, we're starting with gentle circles, pretending that you have a pencil on the tips of your elbows and you're drawing really big circles. Nice and slow. We're going backwards for 30 seconds and then we're changing directions for another 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. Let's switch directions for another 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. Next, we're doing some general mobility for our hips. So stand with your feet wider apart with a gentle bend in your knees. Place your hands on your hips. We're doing big hip circles, but make sure, especially when you have scoliosis or Sherman's kyphosis, what we don't want to do is go into an arched position and rounded with your back. We're always trying to keep a neutral spine position, and so a lot of the movement is actually coming from your hips. So first, send your hips back, but see how my back is still fairly straight here, and I'm really reaching my sit bones back, and then I'm moving over to the side, and then even as I come forward, I'm not overarching. I'm just coming forward enough so that my hips get open and I can feel that stretch in the front of my hips, moving over to the side and then reaching those hips back again. And I can feel this in my hamstrings, okay? So we're going to do this for 30 seconds in one direction and then go the other direction for 30 seconds, moving really slow. This is more about just moving around the hips and trying to, again, release some of the tension that might be built in your lower back and your hips throughout the day. Ready, set, go. Switch directions. Ready, and go. Okay, next we're doing a little bit of stretching for our lower body, specifically for our calves. You also might feel this in your hip flexors. So what we're doing is standing in a split stance, just a small step with one foot in front of the other. Place your hands on your hips and think about, so I'm going to bend my front knee a little bit, and now I'm thinking about pressing my heel down into the floor behind me. It's a very subtle movement, and essentially what we're going to do is rock forward to bend this front knee and then push back up into standing. So every time you rock forward, make sure that you're still pressing that back heel into the floor, and you'll feel the calf stretch intensify. So we're doing this for 30 seconds on one side, and then we're switching legs for another 30 seconds. Stay nice and neutral, keep your core active and nice and elongated through your spine. Ready, set, go. Switch sides for another 30 seconds. Make sure that your toes, both of your toes are facing forward. Really press down into that back heel, gentle lean into your front leg while your back heel is still on the ground, and then rock for 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. Next, we're transitioning to the floor to do a half kneeling position so that we can get to stretch our hip flexors. So transition down into a half kneeling position, which means that your back leg is on your knee and your front foot is you're still propped up on your foot. For balance reasons, make sure you're not like on a tightrope or in a wire. Try and think about placing your feet and your knee apart so it's like you're on train tracks. That really helps with balance. Okay, so from here, hands on your hips, think about really lengthening through your spine. Make sure that your pelvis is active. So especially for people who have scoliosis, sometimes we tend to lean into one hip more than the other. So stay nice and active through that pelvis. And then we're actually going to lean forward with our whole body, and you can support yourself with your elbow on your knee. And I'm really thinking about keeping my pelvis tucked to open the front of my hip. We're rocking back and forth here. So you can even put your hand on your knee, rocking back and forth for 30 seconds on this side. And then we're switching sides to do the other side for 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. Switch sides. Also, a note that if your knee gets a little bit sore or it's uncomfortable to kneel on it, you can always fold up a towel and place it under your knee for a little bit more padding. Okay, placing your hands on your opposite knee, making sure as you lean forward that you're not collapsing through your lower back. Stay nice and open, and you can tilt your body forward, rocking for 30 seconds on this side. Ready, set, go. Okay, so we're moving back into our half kneeling position on that first side. We're still doing the rocking motion, but this time we're focusing on our hamstrings. So you can crawl your front foot out a little bit further. Still keep your hands on your hips. This time when you rock, we're actually thinking about reaching our sit bones back. You can rock up onto your heel and straighten your leg a little bit until you feel a stretch in your hamstring. You don't have to go very far. I already feel it quite intensely. And then I'm gonna rock back up to my start position. Do this for 30 seconds on this side. Again, making sure that when you rock, that your back is still in a neutral position. So try not to let yourself round when you've rocked backwards. Try and keep that spine nice and straight, and you're just reaching your sit bone back to get a stretch in your hamstring and then coming back up. Ready, set, go. Switch sides. Find your neutral balance, crawl your foot out, and again, rock backwards just until you feel that stretch in your hamstring, and then come back up to start. 30 seconds, ready, set, go. We're moving into a static stretch for our hip rotators, doing the pigeon stretch. So place your hands on the floor to find 4-point. Bring one leg back to extend it, and then think about bringing your knee up towards one wrist and try and bring your foot up as close as you can to the other wrist. This will depend on how flexible you are. You might not get very far, or you might have to stay quite high, meaning you might need some yoga blocks or a stool to prop yourself up. But you really want to try and keep your foot up as high as you can. From here, crawl your back leg out as far as you can until you feel a stretch in the back of your hip. You can stay in this position on your hands, but again, try not to collapse into your lower back. Stay really active, push through your hands, or if you don't feel it, you can always go down onto your elbows. And we're staying here for 30 seconds and just breathing, trying to really think about relaxing through that hip. Ready, set, go. Press up onto your hands, tuck your back toe under and push up onto that back leg, and then essentially find a high plank position so that you can switch to the other side. Again, remember trying to keep your foot really high, because if you let your leg tuck under, you don't really get a stretch in your hip rotator, so try and keep that foot up as high as you can. Again, hold this for 30 seconds, breathing nice and deep, and think about where you're holding tension in your body and just try and breathe through that and relax it. Ready, set, go. Next, we're moving into a child's pose. So I've grabbed a stool to help to prop my hands up. You can also use a chair or even the edge of your bed. But typical child's pose has our hands on the floor, and we're going into this position where your bum is on your heels, but sometimes what happens is that your back rounds. So what we like to do is place your hands on a higher surface, bring your knees a little bit apart, and you can still touch your feet together, and think about lowering down, trying to keep your back as neutral as possible. Think about reaching your sit bones back, breathing into your chest and also into your upper back, opening your armpits down towards the floor. We're holding this position, just really winding down as we gear up to go to bed. And so we're gonna hold this for 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. Next, we're transitioning to lie on our back, and so you can move your stool out of the way. If you'd like to lie in your bed to do this, this is totally fine, or if you want to stay lying on the floor on your mat. You can also dim the lights as we're trying to get your brain and your body ready to go to bed, so feel free to do that. So transition onto your back. Start with your legs both straight out in front of you. Bring one knee up towards your chest, and from here you can use your hands and do small rocking motions with your knee from side to side. And we're doing this for 30 seconds and just breathing nice and deep. And we're just doing little movements to try and loosen up the hip and also relieve some tension in the lower back. So do this for 30 seconds on one side, and then we're gonna switch to the other side. Ready, set, go. Let that leg extend out and bring your other knee up towards your chest. Same thing, gentle rocking here, side to side for 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. We're doing another hamstring stretch, this time staying lying on your back. So bring your knee up towards your chest, clasp your hands behind your knee to hold your leg in place. From here, we're gently straightening your top leg a little bit until you feel a stretch in the back of your thigh, and then letting it bend again. We're doing this for 30 seconds and switching to the other side, just to get another way to stretch those hamstrings that often get tight because we're sitting all day. Ready, set, go. Switch sides, clasping your hands behind the other thigh. Again, slowly straightening your leg and bending it just till you feel a stretch in the back of the thigh. 30 seconds, ready, set, go. We're doing a butterfly stretch. This is our last stretch before we do some gentle breathing to end everything off. So stay lying on your back. Bring the soles of your feet together and allow your knees to open out to the side. This is the butterfly stretch, and really we're trying to stretch and open up our hips and get a little bit of a stretch in our adductors or our inner thighs. If that's very uncomfortable for you, you can take pillows and place them under your knees to support you. But generally the weight of your legs and just with gravity, that tends to be a good amount of stretch. So you can place your hands on your belly. Stay here for 30 seconds, breathing nice and deep, letting your knees fall out to the side. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Ready, set, go. We're closing off our stretching session with some deep breathing. Keep your legs in a bent position. If you'd like, sometimes it even feels good to just let your knees rest against each other so you can fully relax. For the next 30 seconds, we're focusing on deep breathing. Really bring your attention to the air going in through your nose, filling up your belly, and exhaling through your mouth, okay? You can place your hands on your tummy, close your eyes, deep breathing for 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. We hope you find this information helpful. For more how-to videos and scoliosis-friendly workouts, check us out on TSC Connect. See you next time.